a third-place finish at this year's CrossFit Strength and Depth, a sixth-place team finish at the 2016 CrossFit Games, and now the new coach of JST Compete.
I first started CrossFit about late 2013. And the goal was actually, I was going through the entry process into the Royal Marines, going to the Royal Marines as an officer. And during the entry process and the testing, I picked up a really bad knee injury. So then rehabbed the knee injury and used CrossFit as a method to rehab it. With the idea being that, because it's so varied, I could then take that fitness and it would apply to the military.
Yeah.
And by the time I'd fully rehabbed my knee, I qualified for regionals. I competed at the Athlete Games and realised I could make a living potentially out of being active without having to move away from my girlfriend at the time and go to the military.
So in terms of the coaching, where did that fit in? Was that after you'd reached regionals, or was that an ambition before?
So I studied sport and exercise science at uni, and I've always been interested in strength and conditioning and coaching side of things. So when I found CrossFit was something I was passionate about, they just matched together very, very well. And after regionals, I then moved to Cheltenham and started coaching there. And then it's just continued from there.
Yeah, so at what point did it get serious for you then? Because it involved a move across to a different country.
Yeah. So at the end of 2015, I then moved to Sweden to compete on a team, because at that time you had to train at the same box to qualify for competing in a team in the games. So I suppose it was around then when I was in a position when I could kind of put work a bit on the side and just focus on the training and just focus on CrossFit. Yeah. So maybe probably around end of 2015, 2016.
And at that point, the focus was get to the CrossFit Games.
Yeah.
So how did this UK-born, Swedish-living CrossFit Games athlete end up with JST Compete? Tell me a little bit about Steve and that relationship, because that wasn't always the case, was it? Steve's come into your life quite recently in terms of programming and that kind of thing.
So when I first started CrossFit, I was actually competing against Steve, and I remember my first competition in the Athlete Games. I think Steve ended up on the podium, and that was my first international competition ever. And then over the years, I've seen him progress. He obviously went to the games as an individual. He went on the team as well. Then as he's gone into a coaching role, I think. And then started with JST Compete programming along with John Buller. I've watched them just gain more and more success and more momentum over the months and then years. And so it was when I was looking for someone to program for me individually, it made sense because I've competed against him. I've seen him progress. He knows the journey from start to all the way to the games. Homegrown UK as well.
Yeah,
so
nice
it was. I think it was quite a natural progression to end up working with him because he's just very knowledgeable, very experienced, and has got that frontline experience of competing as well.
How's he changed your approach?
I wouldn't say there's been so much of a change of approach. I think it's just been a bit more specific focus and more objective programming on the weaknesses. So I hate sprinting, and so I come from a rowing background, and so everything's very paced, and so working on weaknesses, that's something that he makes me work on more than I would like. But it pays off because my weaknesses have been filled in a lot more, my strengths have been maintained, and I'm generally feeling a lot more balanced.